So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, let's try to understand one of the unique subjects, and that is the importance of your second and eighth axis in Vedic astrology with regards to your marriage and the married life aspect. Now if you want to understand after getting married what kind of circumstances are going to play out specifically from the family point of view, whether there is going to be full support of both families, that is boy side family, girl side family after marriage is present in your chart or not, the relationship aspect between you and your in-laws, how that part is going to play out. Even if you want to look into the financial outlook for the next 30, 50 or even 60 years of your life, specifically after marriage. So financial outlook is also determined using the second and eighth axis. And here I'm only talking about the natal birth chart, that is your D1 chart, or this is also known as your Luckin Kundli. Okay, so there is no need for you to pay attention towards higher divisional charts, although they are going to play a very important role. I'm not denying that fact, but let's try to understand first of all the importance of second and eighth axis. Now why I'm saying second and eighth axis and why not the second house and the eighth house? Because there is going to be a lot of connectivity between the second and the eighth house, because first of all, if any planet is going to be sitting in your second house, so that planet is going to aspect directly into your eighth house. So it shows some connectivity between both houses are going to be present over there. Even if some planet is posited in your eighth house, so that planet is also directly going to impact your second house. So it means that is going to be some connectivity or some connection between both of these houses are formed in your chart. Now many of you are going to face a lot of problems after marriage, and there are, of course, there are going to be a lot of blessings also that are going to be a part of your life. But first of all, it's very important for you to analyze that second and eighth axis and then try to understand the crux of Vedic astrology. If, for example, if the malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, Mars, even Surya, planet Sun, and even the Rahu and Ketu axis, if that is posited in the second and the eighth house axis, then the problems between you and your family members are going to be very high, extremely high immediately after marriage. And remember one thing, second house is your Kutumb Sthan. So Kutumb represents family, that is complete family. Family before marriage and family after marriage is seen through second house. And eighth house is particularly the house of your in-laws as well. So if the planets in this axis, although if the malefic planets, suppose they are friendly in the friendly zodiac sign, or even if they are exalted over there, or even if, for example, they are posited in their own zodiac sign, like Saturn is posited in the sign of Aquarius in your eighth house. So many of you going to consider like, okay, malefic planets, so planets that are posited in its own zodiac sign, they are very powerful. Yes, of course they are powerful, but the malefic planets in the second and eighth axis is not considered as a good, specifically from the relationship between you and your family members. And here I'm talking about both family before marriage and family after marriage. And this axis then have the capacity to directly create impact over the seventh house. And seventh house is actually the house of your marriage and the married life aspect, how both of your joint relationship is going to be, that is also going to be seen through that seventh and eighth house. So if any sort of interference or indulgence that is coming from the family side in your life have the capacity to completely destroy your relationship aspect. Even for example, your seventh house lord is very well posited, like this is forming even some wealth yogas in your horoscope. It means yes, you have the capacity to receive a very wonderful life partner in your life. But the family axis, if that axis is not good in your horoscope, it becomes very difficult for you to receive that level of happiness and satisfaction after marriage into your life. Now secondly, from the financial standpoint of view, if for example the second and eighth axis once again, and if there are planets posited in the friendly zodiac signs, exalted zodiac sign, or even in its own zodiac sign, then yes, this have the capacity to bless you and your life partner, both of them, with some sort of financial prosperity. Because this is the single most axis that also shows your wealth aspect. So second house is your money, your savings account. If you want to check like what is the condition of my savings account, whether I will be able to save huge amount of money in my life or not, pay attention towards this second house. This will actually help you to understand your wealth potential in more detailed manner. So if for example, if the planets that are forming some yogas with that second and the 8th house, then yes, this have the capacity, and this also shows the improvement in your financial status immediately after getting married to someone. Similarly with the 8th house as well, if suppose there are going to be even malefics present in that house, they still have the capacity to improve your financial aspect. But it's not necessarily like improving the financial aspect in your life have the capacity to contribute towards your happiness. You might going to be devoid of happiness because of non-satisfaction part that is coming from family life into your life, but yes, this have the capacity to give you wealth. Similarly, if we consider the case of benefic planets like Chandra, planet Moon, Jupiter, even Venus, and even planet Mercury, if these planets are posited in these axes of the 2nd and the 8th axis, even for example benefic planets, they are not very well posited, they are even in some animical zodiac signs or debilitation, yes, I will tell you benefics have the capacity to destroy your mental peace above all. Because when malefics are over there, they are going to completely destroy the family aspect. So this will going to create complete separation, like where you are completely separated from the family, and you both and your partner, you both are staying somewhere else without any sort of interference and indulgence of the family activities. But in case of the benefic planet like auspicious planets, so auspicious planets always tend to protect the house significance, no matter even if they are debilitated. So you will always try your hard, you are going to force all your effort, all your energy in that areas, so that at least you can save and protect the 2nd and the 8th axis. That is specifically with the benefics, because I will tell you malefics have the capacity to completely destroy that thing, and yes, then this will give you long-term sufferings. So you have the capacity to suffer, and maybe after 5-10 years you will be completely satisfied, okay, whatever happened, that happened for me, or it is written in my fate, or these kind of things. Because the planets in this axis, you have no capacity to change them. As an astrologer, I also don't have the capacity to change the planets sitting in your horoscope in the 2nd and the 8th axis. Because Kutumb, you cannot choose your family. You have no capacity to decide, okay, whether I'm going to born in this family or this family or this family or this family. That is totally based upon your prarabdha, your past life deeds, your pending karmas that you have performed in your previous janmas, and in this present life that karmas are going to manifest specifically in the form of lagna, that is your 1st house, and even in the form of the 2nd house, that is your family. So you have no capacity to change these houses in your horoscope. But I will tell you, in my personal research over looking into many charts, malefics are still going to considered as have a deeper impact, but with the benefics also, they also have the capacity to create a lot of impact with regards to your marriage. And then this have the capacity to actually create disturbances between you, your family, and your relationship with your wife, and even with your kids as well. Because these houses are also, I have made one story like your life story is dictated from the 2nd house. If you have not watched that video, I will link that in description, or by the end of this video I will put that link over there. So the story of your life is also fully dictated by the planet sitting in the 2nd house. I'm not here saying that depositor, they are not going to play a very important role. Yes, 2nd house lord is equally important, 8th house lord is equally important. But if for example some planet is leaving their home, okay, suppose 2nd house, there is one colony, okay, so there are total 12 houses, okay, and every planet is suppose the owner of one particular house. Now if suppose the 2nd house lord is leaving that place and going towards 7th house, it means the ownership is still going to be present over there, but still you are powerless. Because now you are not in your house, you are not sitting in your house, you are watching, you will not be able to maintain your house in the proper manner. That is where if you are moving towards some 7th house, 2nd house lord going in this direction, so your focus is actually shifting towards that area. And suppose the planets from some other houses that are attacking your 2nd house, 11th house lord going in the 2nd house, it means that house lordship is getting impacted by the 11th house. And that is where the karmas are going to played out after marriage. If some wealth yogas are there, 11th lord in the second, your second house is getting impacted, yes, definitely wealth is going to be present over there. Now, it's not necessary like wealth is going to come at a course of something. It may be wealth is coming in your life and then you are devoid from your emotional aspect. There is no longer family support present in your life. There is no longer your sibling support present in your life. So that kind of a problems will come with that second and 8th axis. It's much better, first of all, if there are no planets in the second and 8th axis. Then this actually don't represent any huge amount of karmas or karmic activity that is going to be playing with that area. Out of 12 houses, there are total 12 houses in Vedic astrology. In whichever houses that are occupied by planets, it shows heavy karmas in that particular areas. And if you are fortunate enough to actually encounter the dasha of the planets in such a way where you are encountering every dasha of the planet that is sitting in its own zodiac sign, then your life is going to be played out in a much better way. Whereas, for example, if most of the chart is empty, there are cluster of planets forming only in one direction. Suppose 3, 4, 5 planetary alignments are conjunct in one house, and one planet there, 2 planets there. So suppose only 3, 4 houses are occupied and rest of your chart is completely empty. No planet is posited over there. That will also show some heavy karma. That is actually going to connected with only that particular house and the significance of that house. Depending upon the dignity of the planets, they have the capacity to either protect the significance of that house or either have the capacity to destroy it. For that, you need to actually pay attention towards your overall chart in order to understand these complexities. Apart from this, even with the Rahu and Ketu axis, if for example that are forming connection with the second and 8th house, then this is also going to bring lot of emotional traumas or emotional torture that you are going to receive, not necessarily only from your loved ones, or it may be not necessarily your immediate family, but it may be some broken relationships have happened in the second and 8th axis. Because 8th house, I have even made recently one video. 8th house is that house, this is the house of transformation. So if you are gaining some knowledge, some occult knowledge, that is building up your karma of the 8th house. So if your 8th house is becoming very strong, second house will going to remain very, very weak in your horoscope. No matter how strong, I will tell you, if suppose you are fully concentrated over the 8th house activities, this have the capacity to deeply impact your second house. Now, I'm not saying only the wealth aspect or family aspect is getting impacted. It may be both of these things are getting impacted. Now, it depends upon the planet that is posited in your second house that is creating this impact. So, in this way, you can please study your astrological birth charts, relate my predictions with your charts, and you can please mention below in the comment section below whether you have faced the similar amount of karmas after marriage or not. So till then, thank you so much for your valuable time and listening to this video. If you are having any queries and even any consultations with regards to your marriage, married life aspect, family, or any other problems if you are facing in your life, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I will try my best to respond you back as soon as possible. So till then, please make sure to subscribe my channel below. Make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video, and even please don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. Bye bye.